Alright, so I've changed my location just so that I can show a little bit more about the waypoint system. Often people can't find their waypoint. Often you have to zoom all the way out and then find it and move it over to your closer to your boat, move it in, and then you can fiddle with it a little bit more. I should make this a little bit bigger so that people can see. And so if I started out, well, I'm going to start out. Let's say I start out down here. Okay, so I'm going to move I'm going to teleport down. There we go. And as you can see, I'm into the wind. But this course here is going to take me through this island, and that is not good because obviously I don't want to run aground. So what I can do is somewhere on the map I can just grab the waypoint and move it off, and I find that you give it a couple of seconds. Sometimes it's a little finicky sometimes, so you have to be a little bit patient with it. Often some people say that you should click the lock key like that and then unlock it again when you're about to do the next one. I don't do that. If I have a problem, I'll go back and do everything I need to do. And basically, if I set this up now, this would sail all the way from here. It would change course here and then move all the way up. There are some problems with the waypoint system. I mean, there's two issues here. The waypoint system is sometimes a little finicky and a little hard to control. The other thing is that the boats, often on autopilot, auto helm, go fairly far from their actual appointed route. It's not like they're on rails or anything like that. Sometimes the auto helm system decides that while you're offline, it's going to take a completely different course because it thinks that that will be faster, and you might find yourself spinnakering into an island, you know, and this has happened in a number of different races. One in particular last week where this happened, and the basic cause of this is that I believe anyway that people are not setting up enough waypoints, and they're not skirting islands with these waypoints as well as they should. There's quite a good tutorial in the what section is it? The community guide section about setting waypoints, and once I did this, I've not really had that many problems. So probably more waypoints are better. So say if I'd done something like this. Now there's a pretty good chance that it's going to pass these islands here. It's going to go out here somehow, okay, and then it's because of the wind. Actually, let's make it over here. So if I do like that, so we think that okay, that's okay. So our boat will probably go fairly directly to this waypoint here, but then on the way up here, because of the wind direction, it's not going to take that direct path. It's going to maybe go to port, or maybe go to starboard. We don't know while we're offline. So the point is that what you would need to do is A, have a look at your wind and determine, you know, what the best course is, but B, also, you know, if you need to, then maybe tell it, okay, that you want to go maybe up like that, and then you're going to need another line like that, and then maybe a little bit up again, okay, just thinking about the angles that you're going to need, okay, to get around these islands. Now obviously this is not a direct path, and if you do it well, you can actually do this faster. It just depends on how far the race is or how far the distance is. Sometimes a direct line is the best way, but in this case here, if this wind stays in this direction, well, you could either end up on one of these little Greek islands here, which is, hey, beautiful, or you know, you're going to be going very, very slowly upwind for most of the night or day. Other things that we can do with the waypoint system. When you get to the end, often in races, okay, imagine these 2 points are the finish. So if I come in here, you would put one before the line and one after the line. So if these 2 points here were the finish line, you would have 1 point just prior to the line and then 1 point after the line. And as the guide says, you know, if you're offline and, you know, some of these long races, they take 24 hours, then at least when you are offline, it will go through the finish line for you. A lot of people wake up as they are getting close to the line anyway, but as far as I've seen lately, I haven't tested it with a finish for a while, but this will work. And see, here we have one of those glitches I was talking about, where I'd set it and it didn't keep it. So just be aware of that. Sometimes you need to be a little bit patient with this waypoint system. The other thing that you need to know is that you can save voyages. So I could save this if I wanted to. I could click on it. Okay, and yes, I will open it. And I can, you know, up here I can change the name to test or whatever I want to do. Okay, and that will be saved forever. I can delete the ones I want to delete. I usually keep a couple of them so that I know, you know, especially for the Mauritius race, you know, the Bermuda race, I can click on these quickly and I can get my waypoints back. Even though those races change a little bit, the waypoints are fairly close to where the race is going to take. And obviously locking it is a good idea. And the last thing is to, if you wanted to, you can use a different one. So you just click on the show window with your voice. I can click on any of these here, and it will allow me to grab those waypoints that I want. So anyway, something for you to think about and muck around with to your heart's content. Okay, so let me give you one more tangible example, just to go through some of the steps that I take, which often, well, I can't give you a 100% guarantee, but it does a pretty good job. So at the moment you can see that our waypoint, it's already past this one, and it's heading, well, it's not heading because I'm online at the moment. If I went offline and if I set this to work online, then it will probably go directly through the island. The reason for this is that the waypoint system is technically dumb in terms of landmass. So what we will need to do is set our path. Now we can either go above it, but say if I wanted to go below it. Well, okay, let me pull some out, and I want to be at least half a nautical mile with each one of them, and I can zoom in, probably do another one in here if I wanted to. Just like that. Make sure that it's set before you go offline. And the last thing that I would do is also pull one directly onto your boat, the last one, and what it should do is, yeah, make it change color. And I'm not 100% sure that this works properly, but it tends to for me anyway, give me a better feel for what's happening. At the moment, nothing's happening very well. I'm going to turn off, head towards it a little bit. No, I don't want to head towards the island, obviously. And once I go offline, it's going to change the sails to, I would imagine, a Jenica here. And I'm going to let it run for a little bit and see what happens. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, I've come back sometime later to find my boat is actually pretty much on course. I did have another checkup around here somewhere, and it was a little bit wayward. I'm not sure whether I can recommend to trust it completely as yet. Take a wide berth around things, look at the community guide. Anyway, in the third of this series we finally get to sailing, looking at some basic setup and trimming. Anyway, thank you very much. Bye bye.